YouTube, the day has come. I'm gonna get some color sprayed today. What'd you get? Where's mine? That's why you work with family. But today I'm gonna get some color on some parts because my brother can't keep up with how fast I get things done in here. So I have some free time during the week, so I'm itching to see the color actually on something. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna get the bumpers in here and maybe a couple of other panels and just get a batch sprayed up. I can't wait to show you guys the color because it's based off a Toyota color that I really liked. I just tweaked it to be a lot darker, and in turn it kind of made it a little bit more dynamic, and I think in different lights it's going to look different colors. So I'm pretty excited about it. So yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get these all, like these bumpers and stuff, all on stands, get them all blown off because they're kind of dusty. Waterborne clean them really well, get them rolled into the booth, and then just start rolling on it. All right, so I will pick you guys back up after I get these clean, get everything set up in the booth, and we'll get some sealer laid down and spray some color. All right, guys, so we have parts in the booth. This has been a long time coming. Ever since I bought this little Civic, this was always the plan, was to respray it. The paint when I got it was not in awesome shape, but I mean, it was pretty clean. I had my buddy Billy do an X coat, which is kind of like a wipe-on clear coat to it. And I mean, it helped to gloss it up some. That stuff, it has its place, but honestly, I wish I never would have done it because at the end of the day, when it got gasoline on it, like around my fuel door, it discolored and just looked like solvent pop all over the paint. And yeah, good thing it was white because you couldn't really see that, but I seen it every time I washed it. So I really just, after that, I kind of lost interest in the car, unfortunately, and just kind of drove it how it sat for a long while. And yeah, I decided, you know, when I switched shops that I would, you know, get back to doing what I enjoy, and that's kind of modifying cars and just cruising them and kind of sharing that with my kids. If you don't know, I have a 4-year-old daughter and a 1.5-year-old son, and they're both, I mean, they're growing like weeds, and this is one of those hobbies that I love sharing with them because they like cruising around with dad, they like jamming to music, and my son, every time he hears loud exhaust, is super jacked, which he's gonna be even more excited because I did order the Skunk 2 Alpha header and Flash Pro. So as soon as this car's done, it'll be tuned and it'll have a header, so it'll be fun for the time being. I'm still planning on supercharging it, but it'll be a fun summer with it, that's for sure, because it's gonna look awesome. I can't wait to show you guys the color because this is going to look completely different. I also use this little hanger stand thing to hang the spoiler and the hood hinges. Get this all cleaned up. I'm a little bit worried about how much dust is on the top of this hangy stand thing, but I will just attempt to not mess with it too much after I tack rag it. But yeah, this color, because I kind of custom mixed it, it's based off a paint code, a factory paint code, but it's my own version of it, I guess. So there's not gonna be another one cruising around like it, that's for sure. And maybe let me know in the comments, the best place to order some NK RPF ones, because that is, I know it's a generic white girl wheel, whatever, but that's my favorite wheel. So that's what I'm going to put on it. If you guys have any favorite websites, let me know. I have one more part to clean and the handles to clean. And then it's turn the booth on and it's time to mix sealer. I'm getting anxious, so I'm gonna go ahead, clean the last few little parts. I'll cut this on when I'm ready to seal all this stuff. All right guys, so I have sealer mixed up. Obviously, first things first, I gotta go through a tack rag everything. I'm also going to use my static gun on all of this because most of it is plastic, and I want this to be as clean as humanly possible. Then I'm using my little fan jet blower just to remove any dust that might be in like cracks and crevices. Pretty self-explanatory, but figure it out and make it. Holy crap. All right, well, it's time to static gun and it's go time. This is still just crazy to me. Ever since I like started painting this, I've always wanted to color change one of my cars, but didn't have the time, didn't work at a facility that would allow me to do it anyway. Since then, I guess they're changing for the better over there, but we'll see how long that lasts. Alright guys, so this is what we've all been waiting for. I'm going to do a single coat of P30 sealer on everything. I mixed up dark gray. That gives you an idea of which direction we're going here. I'm only going to do one coat on this stuff. It's all plastic. This is super, super flexible. So on like even the front end, I'm not too worried about chips because this stuff doesn't tend to chip so much. On like the hood and the actual body of the car, the fenders and stuff, I am going to do 2 coats just for added assurance, but on bumper covers and stuff like this, I'm not real worried about it. So we're just gonna do one. And the spray gun flavor for sealer, 3300 GTO, 1.3 Tech air cap, 25 PSI, full fan, full fluid, pretty simple spray gun to use. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on the garnish and just work my way through this booth. All right, holy crap. Yeah, there's the first coat. I'm gonna move you guys down so you guys can see the covers. We're just gonna run through it. Tilt this down just a wee bit. Or to get in the scraps. Go. There we go. That's pretty much it. All right guys, everything has a nice smooth dark gray coat of sealer. I did have enough, I mixed enough and I ended up doing 2 coats on the front bumper. Little extra assurance. Yeah, it's nice and smooth. I did use US 4 as my reducer, just so it flowed out a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the flash cycle for 10-15 minutes while I go mix the base coat color. And I'll bring you guys in when I got base coat, because I think you guys are gonna be as jacked as I am when you see what color this is, because it's gonna be different. It's not wild, but it'll be different. Sorry about that, guys. My battery died there real quick, so got that swapped out. Go ahead and keep pushing. All right, guys, that's the first coat of base. I'm gonna go ahead and get my second coat on, get this control coated, and then I will show you the effect of this color before we go and clear it. I'm also going to use Elegance clear coat. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Sherwin's Elegance line, but it's essentially a show car clear. It's pretty dang slow to dry, but it levels out to almost zero orange peel. It just sprays super flat. And that's kind of the look that I'm going for on this build. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, let me get my color on here. I'll bring you guys back in and show you the effect that this has, because already I am super pumped on how it's coming out. All right, guys, so this is the color. No, let's hear me brighten this up. You can see this is it's almost like a candy brown minus the candy. In base coat, you don't get quite the full effect, but let me go mix up some clear here in a minute, and yeah, I'll show you guys why I mixed this color the way I did. You can tell that on the side tone like this, it just looks black, but then you get those hints like copper, red, brown. It's gonna be a pretty dynamic color. All right, guys, so that's all dry. I got my clear coat mixed up. This is Sherwin's Elegance Clear. It's 1100-755 is the part number if you guys are interested in this stuff. Like I said, this is pretty much a show car clear. It's very slow, so I will be using my Apple Watch, setting the timer for about 10 to 15 minutes, probably closer to 15 to 20, but I will be checking it as it's flashing, because it has to get really good and sticky before I add a coat. And we're gonna make a judgment call after the second coat. I'm kind of thinking I want to do 3 just to add a little bit of depth, but we'll see what 2 coats looks like, and I'll kind of make a judgment off of that. Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and start clearing. Again, I am so excited right now, you guys. This is just so cool to me. It's been a long time coming, and I'm just speechless. Like, I know there's a lot of guys out there that have painted their own stuff and yada yada yada, but this is kind of one of those things where when I was a kid, I know a lot of you guys have been following since the beginning of this series, but I was talking about Fast and the Furious and how there was a car in that, and I thought it was an Integra at the time. I went back, rewatched the series, and it was Hector's Civic hatch. It was brown, or like an olive brown, and I always loved the way that looked. This is my version of that. And yeah, man, this is gonna be sweet. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this dry 15 minutes. I'm gonna bring you guys back after I decide if I'm gonna do 2 or 3 coats. And I'll show you what the color looks like with I'll show you what the color looks like with clear coat on it. And then Friday, I'll get the body and the rest of the stuff in here. I can't wait for this to be done, man. I'm so excited. So I'll bring you guys back in a minute. All right, this is the color. This is based off of, I believe it's Toyota 4U3. It's the Bronze Fire Pearl or something like that, I think is what Toyota calls it. But yeah, like I had mentioned, it's gonna look mostly black. You can see, here, let me turn this up. See all of the pearl in that. It's gonna be pretty sweet when it's all together. Here we go again. This is another batch of parts. I've got the hood, both fenders, both doors in this cycle. We're getting close. As I had mentioned before when I did the bumper covers, I used Elegance clear on those, and I'm going to use Elegance on this stuff as well. This time I'm going to do 3 coats of clear just to give me something to polish on, a little extra protection and a little bit of extra flow. So I've already got all of this stuff all cleaned up. I'm gonna go take the air hose, blow myself off. I got a fresh lap coat. I'm gonna go mix dark gray sealer again. We're just gonna go ahead and knock this stuff out. I have been posting updates as well to my Instagram and to my TikTok. So if you want to check those out, it's the same Oli paints, both platforms. So yeah, without further ado, let me go mix some sealer up, and we'll get this stuff all sealed up, nib anything or fix anything that we find along the way, and then we'll get some color sprayed on this stuff. All right guys, so everything is blown off, it's all tack ragged. I do have sealer mixed up, 3300 GTO as usual. Let's just go ahead. There ain't no turning back now, so yeah, we get this all in gray sealer. If we find anything that we need to fix, we'll fix it. I'm excited, let's go. All right guys, so there is sealer on all of these parts. I'm gonna go ahead and go hit the flash cycle, let this sit in here at about 100 degrees for 15 minutes while I mix up base coat. Everything looked pretty good. There's some little chips and stuff that I will just hit with a little block, not even chips, like nibs. Other than that, it all came out pretty damn clean. So yeah, I'll handle that. I'm gonna use, hold on. I'll handle those chips with this little block. This is made by Kovacs. This is a part of the toll cut kit. I just have 800 grit on here. So once this is completely dry and ready to be based over, I'll just go through and denib, make sure I don't have any chunks of dirt that'll mess up my subsequent layers. And yeah, we'll get the stuff all painted and pretty. Okay, this is the fun part. Let's go ahead, get some color on this stuff. We'll see how this is gonna go. Like I mentioned before, guys, I'm using Ultra 9K water. I'm basically just gonna run through this booth until I run out of base. I'll do a nice wet coat on this, move on to everything else. As soon as I'm done getting base on that stuff, I'll come right back and do my second coat. I could do wet on wet, but for this situation, I'll just get a coat on everything and just kind of run through the booth real quick. So nothing crazy. I'm gonna do one coat on the underside of the hood because, well, it's the underside and one coat should cover enough. And yeah, just let's go ahead. It's the exciting part, dude. Go. Alright guys, this is still flashing. I just got to go shut the flash cycle off. All of our base coat is ready for clear. This color is going to look crazy, man. I know it looks pretty dark on camera, but oh, I can't wait to show you guys what this looks like in the sun. Alright, I'm going to set you up and get some clear coat shot on this. I am so ready to have my car back and to drive this thing. I am so excited. Alright, you guys, that's a wrap on this batch of parts, and I am extremely pleased with how all of this looks. I've got a little spot on this door that I'm gonna have to block. I think my clear coat dripped off my cup. Not a big deal. That's gonna be super easy to fix. God dang. This thing, I tipped the doors back because I really laid this clear coat on heavy. I wanted next to no peel, and that's what I got. So yeah, the next video is gonna be doing the body. I'm gonna go ahead straight from here. I'm gonna hit the bake cycle and go out there, and I'm gonna start prepping and taping and finishing up everything on the body. I'll get that wheeled in here hopefully tomorrow or the next day. And then this thing is now root beer brown. God, I'm so excited to put it together. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys. If you're not already subscribed, please consider doing so. If you hit the little bell icon, that'll notify you when the next video in this series rolls out. And yeah, until next time, thanks for hanging out with me and thanks for watching.